Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time you have visited my channel, please kindly subscribe to Samuel Soundwave. There is a strategy many governments used when they feel pressure from the opposition. It's called visible delivery. This simple means showing people real results they can see and use in their daily lives. Not just speeches or promises. That is what Tinubu government did when it announced 10 billion housing loan scheme for a civil servant. This happened just before Workers' Day, at a time when the ADC and the PDP were busy fighting court cases over leadership issue. The timing is important. When the opposition was focused on legal battles, the government was showing something practical. The message is clear. When others are arguing, we are working. To understand why this matters, we need to look at Nigeria's housing problem. Nigeria has a housing shortage about 20 million homes. This means millions of people do not have proper place to live. The country has over 220 million people, and experts says around 100 million Nigeria are either homeless or living in poor housing condition. This is a very serious problem. It affects people's health, comfort, and daily life. It also affects how people work. For many workers, especially civil servants, rent takes a big part of their salary. Someone earns 100,000 a month. Many spend 440,000 or 50,000 on rent. That leaves very little for food, transport, school fees, and healthcare. When people are under this kind of pressure, they cannot work well. They become stressed and distracted. So the housing problem is not just personal, it affects the whole country. This is where the new housing plan comes in. The government, through the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, is providing 10 billion for housing loans. The goal is to help civil servants buy or build their own homes instead of renting. 10 billion sounds like a lot of money, but when you look closer, it is not enough to solve the problem. If one loan is about 5 million, then the money can only help about 2,000 people. Now, compare that to over 7,000 civil servants in Nigeria. That means only a small number of people will benefit for now. So this is not just a full solution, but it is something people can see. It shows that government is trying to do something. The housing minister seeks to understand this. He admitted that the housing problem is a very big and cannot be solved quickly. Building millions of homes will make many years and a lot of money. We take many years and a lot of money. Instead, he talked about working with the private sectors. Private developers in Nigeria are already building houses and making money. Many Nigerians prefer buying homes from private estates instead of government housing. So, the minister asks important question: why is private housing working better than government housing? His idea is that the government should rent from the private sector and support it instead of trying to do something alone. If private companies build homes more, the problem can be solved faster. The 10 billion loan scheme is just the first step. If it works, the government may add more money later. But this plan is not just only about housing, it is about politics. The Tinubu government has been facing criticism about the economy. Many Nigerians are struggling with high price and cost of living. Opposition leaders like Peter have been talking about this problem. So the government is responding in two ways. First, it is dealing with political issues through the court and institution. Second, it is trying to show visible improvement in people's lives. The housing scheme is part of the second strategies. It's meant to show that the government cares about workers and it is taking action. The big question: will this work? In the past, similar efforts have not always worked. In 2015, Goodluck Jonathan introduced many projects before the election, but still lost. However, things are different now. The opposition is not fully united. Yet, some parties are still dealing with internal problems. This gives the government more time to promote its program. Also simple, programs like housing loans are easy for people to understand. Many people may pay more attention to them than to complicated political arguments. The housing minister said realistic. He did not promise to solve everything. He said he will study the problem, bring new ideas, and do his best. This shows the understanding. He understands the situation. His goals may be to take some progress that people can see before the election. In the end, the housing plan is both a policy and a political move. It is meant to help some civil servants get home, but it is also meant to show voters that the government is working. So the real question are simple. Will 10 billion make a real difference in Nigeria housing problem? Or it's mainly a political move to gain support before 2027 election? And when the time comes to vote, what will matters more? Visible benefits like housing loans or the overall economic situation? The answers to this question will shape Nigeria's future. Thank you for watching my